folks, welcome to another Why It's There episode. This is episode 10, I believe, and this is another shelf that we're going to go over. We will start on this side and work our way over because my shoulder's going to be covering up all of these guys most of the time anyway, so there you have it. Alright, so starting up here, we have a game called Villainous Vikings. Back in the day, this is by Victory Point Games, back in the day, people told me that this is the quintessential Viking fan game that I need to play, and I have not yet done it. It just hasn't been played yet. But I still have it, so there's still hope. Underneath that, this, for the longest time, this was the only copy of Codenames that I owned, because I really enjoy the Codenames Pictures version. My wife and the kids have picked up, I think, the Disney version, because a lot of people at our gaming group at church really enjoy playing, really enjoy Disney type stuff. So they got Disney Codenames Pictures, or Disney Code, I don't know what it is. It's Codenames Disney, whatever it is. And we own that one now, but this is the only one that I want to own. Coconuts. You know, I did a live Q&A and a live play of Call of Duty on Saturday with my son Aiden, and he wanted to play Call of Duty, but he also asked if we could play Coconuts live. This is a really fun dexterity kid game. It's really a kid game, but it's really fun. You're flipping coconuts into these different cups that are in the middle of the table, and it's a fun time. So we've kept that one around. It's a really cool one. Wonder Woman Challenge of the Amazons. This is 2 to 5 players, and it goes 45 to 60 minutes. Ravensburger, my wife, is a huge Wonder Woman fan, and so she has. I actually bought this for her in Chicago when we were there for our honeymoon, and like a Brady Bunch style honeymoon. We took the whole family, but it was a great time. We saw this, and I was like, I got to get that for my wife. So we have played it. It's a pretty fun game, but it doesn't come out too often. Formula D is probably, this is the racing car game that I owned before Heat came out, and now Heat is this game's competition, like in a serious way, but I still really enjoy this game. I love the dice rolling of it. Dice rolling usually enters into a lot of random chaos, and this one kind of pulls back on the reins on that a little bit. Still lets you roll like a huge 30-sided dice, but it's a window. It's not 1 to 30, it's like 11 to 30 or something like that. But it's a really fun game, and I really enjoy this game a lot. This one is the version where you actually can do some street racing on some of the maps. So I have a good number of maps too. I just don't know where I've stored them right now. They're not in this box because they don't fit, but I do have more maps. But this is a great little racing game, Formula D. Hex Roller is a neat little roll and write game where you're just trying to basically get different quadrants, so not really quadrants, but different areas of hexes filled in so you can score more points. But you have to roll the dice in order to do it. This is a cool little fun game. Time's Up Title Recall. This is the best Time's Up version, or version of Time's Up that there is. Really enjoy this game a lot, and we've played the snot out of it. As you can see, maybe you can't see, but the box is really worn because we've played it so much. We used to play this with our youth group a lot. Risk Legacy. This is actually an unplayed copy of Risk Legacy, and I'm just waiting for the right time to pull it out and go through it again. We went through a copy that Tom got in, and that's what we did the review for back in the day, but I also picked up another copy of it, but I have not played it yet, so we'll have to wait and see. Star Wars Risk. This is really not Star Wars Risk, but because it's more like a Star Wars version, like a original trilogy version of Queen's Gambit, because that's kind of the structure that it's built around. So, but this is a really cool game. Not going to get rid of this anytime soon. Now, this here is my Carcassonne collection. Probably South Seas and Amazonas are my favorite ways to play Carcassonne at this point. But there was another one, I think the Mists of Carcassonne or something like that I played at Grand Con that I really enjoyed. So I'm probably going to be picking that up and giving it some time on the channel as well, because I really, really had a fun time playing that with the LTN guys at Grand Con. Star Wars Carcassonne is, but it's Star Wars and I'm a Star Wars fan, so yeah, I gotta own it. Overhill and Dell is also cool. Gold Rush is a neat little Western themed version of it, but this one gets a little crunchy and a little backstabby as well. So didn't really enjoy this one as much as the other two. These are by far my favorite versions, and of course I've got a lot in the basic copy, and then this is the newer, like one of the reprints that they came out with a little while ago. So that's my Carcassonne collection. Undaunted Normandy by Osprey Games. I really enjoy that system. It's not as good in my opinion as Memoir 44, but it is a good system and it is a good game, and we talked highly about it during my time at Dice Tower. So that's a great game. It's going to stay in my collection. I know that there's a lot of other copies of it, not this particular one, but other versions of it, Stalingrad and Battle for Britain, and I think there's a couple of others as well, but this is a neat system. Highly recommend it. Sakura is a beautiful little game from A Games, and I saw this at Essen one year, and first of all, I just loved the box. The box was just stark. I love the cherry blossoms on here, and I enjoyed it. 30-minute game, 2 to 6 players, and I like the motif of it as well. The players in this game aim to get rid of their cards by taking any tricks, so it's a trick-taking game. The best tactician will win the favor of the goddess and glory of theirs until next spring. So I saw this, and it just popped, and I had to have it. So I picked it up and ended up enjoying the game as well. Solomon's Temple and Wisdom of Solomon are a couple of Old Testament themed games that I have yet to play. And people sent them to me, so I didn't want to just willy-nilly get rid of them. I just haven't played them, so I'm going to keep them around until I do get them played, and then we'll make the determination of whether or not, what we're going to do with them, whether they're going to stick around, or if I'm going to re-gift them to somebody else if they would like it. Pile Up Rush is a neat little game from the Korea Board Game Company. It's got some really neat components, and you're basically just trying to pile these things as high as you can. There's a timer involved. This is a really fun game. And it is a dexterity game, and I'm usually kind of picky about the dexterity games that I keep. But this one has just a little bit of a niche to it, so went ahead and kept this one up. I also like all of the Korean writing that's still on it. It's a language-independent game, but Pile Up Rush. Pile Up Rush. So it's like a transliteration of the English. But Pile Up Rush, I keep the English out there so that people can see what it is. Speak Out and Hearing Things are a couple of games that I used to play with my youth group all the time. They really had a great time with it. It's just kind of stupid fun, trying to get people to read lips with hearing things. And then Speak Out has those really weird things that hold your lips back, so that it makes it really hard to say words. So these are just stupid fun that really grabbed on. So there's a lot of memories with these two games, so I'm keeping it around because, you know, they're those kind of games that just really kind of attach themselves to people. And then Witch and Wagers is another one that we've used a lot in youth group. And of course, when I was with the Dice Tower, we used to run huge events of Witch and Wagers games, and that was always fun, so I've kept that one around as well. But that is episode 10 of Why It's There. Thank you for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.